Hi, this is Mike Hendrickson from Velocity 2015 in Santa Clara, California. I'm here with Gamiel Gran. Gamiel, how you doing?
I'm great.
So you're with SOASTA.
I'm with SOASTA, yep.
Chief Strategy Officer?
That's it.
And so what does a Chief Strategy Officer think about on a day-to-day basis?
Well, first, what's going on in the market so that we can be on top of what our customers and our prospective customers are looking for and have the right sort of thought leadership around where we can be a provider to them in a thoughtful and long-term sort of way. So I think about things not just this quarter's revenue, but a few quarters out, if you will.
Okay, and so one of the things that I'm hearing this year, and I look at Velocity over the last 6, 7, 8 years, is this one, we seem to have come to an apex where we're over this theory, we're over the culture clashes, we're over all those issues, and we're now talking about real business results?
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, you go from event to the speakers here, and the topic around what's performance and design-driven performance, but specific quantifiable objectives seem to be coming to the top. How do I measure things in real business sort of benefit ways? And in fact, that's one of the whole dialogues that we've been trying to position as a company, which is this branding of our company of performance is everything, is really to say it's a holistic problem. It's across the whole organization, that the buyer is no longer just the technologist, it's probably the chief revenue officer or the chief marketing officer, and frankly the whole organization. So when we talk to some of our customers like Etsy, they say this is a performance-driven culture all the way top down, from our boardroom meeting to the web team that's designing the new application today. We're all concerned about performance. Not every organization is quite that far along, though. So as we get involved in conversations, we're often asked, what are the questions we should be asking? And so we start with things, simple things like, what's 100 milliseconds worth to your business? And how do you know what's the right place in your full payload of application deployment, of your full domain that you've deployed, where there might be an optimization opportunity? How do you uncover those things so that you can provide the right sort of resource? And then how do you bring it back to the business so that they can understand that they've got some tools here to actually respond to these problems?
So a recent book by Daniel Pink is To Sell is Human, and he talks precisely about that, about asking rather than pushing. Like salespeople typically push products and services and platforms and all their different solutions, rather than pulling the questions from their customers. So what are the important questions you guys are asking of your customers and of the people that you serve in your industries?
Well, it starts with this performance question. So we say performance is everything, but to the customer, is performance everything?
What does it mean to them?
What does it mean to you? And specifically, who's it most important to? So if there's KPIs or performance indicators in your business for performance, who cares about those and why? So let's understand a little bit about how you measure, how you govern performance first. And that's the first form of discovery and an opportunity that we should get into. And then from there, if they're still asking questions, so what should I be caring about? Well, let's take a look at how you're performing relative to your competition. And maybe that perks up some ideas around where you should be performing better. Or do you know how long your users actually wait?
Your customers,
And let's be very centered on the user as the primary point. So when we do corporate presentations and events like this, we talk about putting the user at the center and then building out from there. So saying, how well do you know your user? What's that customer experience really look like? And to them, what is 100 milliseconds worth? And what is a little bit of latency? What if it goes from 3 seconds to 8 seconds? And then the comparative against the competition. And then what's the waterfall of data that presents that says, where can I actually begin to tune things? Okay, now I'm taking and breaking this down and saying, okay, from the user experience standpoint, how am I excellent in the eyes of my customer first? That's where I've got to position my brand. But then can I break that down so the organization can actually take action against that?
And so these questions have led you guys to the SOASTA doc? So you're asking your partners, you're asking your customers what they want, how they want to look at it, how they want to make changes in their business, their product lines, their silos coming together. So that's led you to building the doc?
To the announcement today of the Digital Operations Center is really about that. Yes, you're right. And that is largely about providing, one, that mechanism of controlling that information in an effective way, but also being able to collaborate the team. So what we're seeing is there's an evolution of the process of understanding performance. So if it was, as you mentioned, a few years ago at a Velocity event, maybe a largely technical dialogue, and now it's transitioning to a business dialogue, well, that means more people are pushing themselves up to the table. And so the dock helps bring that group, that audience of different constituents to the table to collaborate as a group, make decisions, have the actionable tools to make those decisions in real time much differently. But this is just building off of what SOASTA has had at its core from the beginning. So continuous load testing, continuous performance testing, continuous functional testing, and of course continuous monitoring, which are the tag words that we use to describe our product offerings. It really does bring that all together.
So if you push yourself out 12 months from now, and we have the same conversation, and you think about where you are now, and your strategy, and your conversations with your customers, where do you think you'll be next year at this time, and where will the dock be next year? Because I actually think you're leading the market right now with dock.
That's great to hear.
So, and you have to change as you go forward to keep ahead of everyone, because they're all going to, instrument and do the same things very soon. So where will you guys be in 12 months?
Well, we'll be sizably bigger, for sure. Over the past year, we've added nearly 50% of headcount to the organization. We've grown the organization at about that pace or better from a revenue standpoint as well. So I expect we'll continue along that trajectory. The dock specifically, I expect to be in many locations around the globe. As I've been reaching out in the early adoption program of the Digital Operations Center to large systems integrators and large customers of ours, we've got monitors everywhere, but this one's a game changer. This one really does change the way that we think about access to information. So my guess is we'll see a lot of them around the globe. But I also expect that our individual product offerings, SOASTA Cloud Test, SOASTA Impulse, and SOASTA Touch Test, which are our other key products that make up the dock or that are formulated into the dock, will be more broadly available as well. So we're seeing adoption not just at the corporate enterprise and the traditional QA team and the traditional web performance team, but we're seeing an adoption at a community level altogether different than we were even designed from the beginning to support. So a few weeks ago we announced that more than 30,000 community users are participating in our Lite products, which is our early entry product. So the adoption of this product or this problem statement and using products to begin to get inside of the monitoring and capable performance data is beginning grassroots as much as it is at our enterprise customers.
Okay, so you do have an alternative to the expensive dock or something like that. So
we start small, grow big. Right?
Excellent, excellent, excellent. So I hope we see the dock evolve in the next 12 months, and I got to say congratulations.
Great.
It looks like an amazing product.
Yeah, it is amazing. It was amazing to watch how quickly it came together. The idea, just the renaissance of the idea making, as we would present it to one of our business partners or one of our customers, say, hey, what about this? And yeah, that's a brilliant idea. Let's bring that in. So what we've created, and hopefully you got a sense of this if you saw the demo, is a platform that's extensible in many ways. We can bring in a limitless quantity of data sets. And in fact, as we walk around here at the Velocity event, I'm going from booth to booth asking the various other companies here to say, hey, come partner with us because your data needs to be on the dock too. And so I think we can consume data from all sorts of providers, from New Relic to AppDynamics, from Sodexis to SpeedCurve, and everybody, with the idea that answers those critically important questions that our customers are asking for.
Gamiel, we look forward to seeing you next year. Thank you very much.
Thank you.